We now move on, viewers. At the Munich Security Conference, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called on global leaders to provide swift and united support against Russian aggression. He emphasized the urgency of protecting lives amid the ongoing conflict, stating that every day counts. Zelensky thanked American and European allies for their support, stressing that without them, Ukraine's resistance would have been far more difficult. He also drew parallels with Iran, urging the world to act quickly to stop authoritarian regimes. Zelensky reaffirmed Ukraine's desire for European Union membership, with European Parliament President Roberta Metsola expressing strong backing. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte highlighted Russia's significant losses, estimating 65,000 troops lost in just 2 months. Let's hear that comment.
That is why not a single day, not a single opportunity to protect life can be wasted. Everyone who seeks security and peace must understand this. Every day matters. And I'm grateful to every American heart that was helping us no matter what. Thank you. Without you, Americans, Europeans, and everyone who stands with us, it would have been very, very difficult to hold on. Thank you very much.
Joining me now is Dan Perry, international affairs expert, joins us from Tel Aviv. Dan, thanks very much for joining us. Firstly, we've heard, everybody has heard Zelensky now multiple times asking for support, asking for money, but the criticism being leveled against him and his diplomacy is that why is he not really getting on table with Russia and discussing the war directly with Putin to arrive at a ceasefire as soon as possible? Because the reality on the ground is that Russia is very close to now completely taking over Donbass as well.
It's being directed at Zelensky from the Americans and the Americans only, largely. The Russian position right now is that to end the war, maybe, Ukraine has to not only forego the part of Donbass that was occupied by Russia, but also hand over more parts of Donbass, including the fortress cities, pushing way further west into Ukraine than the Russian military has been able to do. And this is something Ukraine obviously is resisting. Now, Trump, more or less, rather clearly, would like Ukraine to sue for peace on Russia's terms. And in Europe, there's great concern that to do any such thing would be to validate and reward expansionist aggression and whet the appetite of Putin to further seek territorial gains in other countries, maybe the Baltics, maybe even further west. This is a very major rupture between the Europeans and the Americans. Zelensky is being very polite in thanking the Americans because the reality is that under Trump in the past year, the American military support and economic support has fallen down to a minimum. And basically, it's about the U.S. selling arms to NATO countries, to Europe, to be given to Ukraine. It remains to be seen where this goes, but a larger meta-narrative here is that there's a major schism between the Europeans and the Americans, and one of the manifestations of it is that Trump not only does not favor democracies over autocracies, but specifically appears to favor Putin over Zelensky.
Right, Dan, thanks very much for your comment here. Request to stay on as we proceed for another discussion here. Viewers of France has accused Russia